his eldest daughter, Princess Zara, who left our shores 5 years since to go to England. It's the wisest, the most powerful country in the world. Has taken a high degree at Girton and is on her way home again, having achieved a complete mastery over all elements which have tended to raise that great and glorious country to a present preeminent position among civilized nations.
Oh, yes, I see. England has made herself what she is because in that favoured land, every man has to think for himself. Here, there is no need, for our monarch anticipates the people's needs, and their political opinions are formed by the journals to which they subscribe. We are very well as we are.
Life without a care, everyone supplied by a kind and fatherly monarch who has no other thought than to make his people happy.
Yes, by our constitution, we are governed by a despot who, well, in theory, nothing of that kind, no. He's governed night and day by two wise men, whose duty it is, upon his very first lapse from political or social propriety, to denounce him at once to the public exploder, where he will blow up the king with dynamite, and in compensation for his wounded feelings, will reign in his stead.
Yes, after many unhappy experiments in the direction of an ideal republic, it was found that what may be described as despotism, tempered by dynamite, provides on the whole the most satisfactory description of ruler. An autocrat who dares not abuse his autocratic powers.
Yes, but in a few months, Utopia may be completely anglicized.
Absolutely, and without a doubt.
What is wrong?
Nothing. A little passing anxiety, that's all.
What have we to be anxious about?
Well, what have we to gain by the great changes in store for us?
What have we to gain? English institutions, English tastes, and our English fashions. Are not all our little secret commercial ventures doing tremendously? Union Jack souvenir store, our umbrella shop. How about our payday loan company? Yes. And as for the palace paper, why, its circulation has increased tenfold since we compelled your majesty to contribute every week a couple of pages of disreputable attacks upon his own moral character.
Hush. Pray be careful. If it should ever be known that these are our speculations and that we have compelled the king to place his royal authority and influence at our disposal for their advancement, we should be ruined.
Think hard, silly one. What have we to fear? Well, the people are occupied with the king. They take no heed in us. And should the king object, why? We just denounce him for immediate explosion. Should the king object, he declares peace or war in our direction, to the benefits of our commercial speculation.
That all Utopia shall henceforth be modelled upon that glorious country called Great which some land, but others do not Ireland. as you insist upon it, we have arranged that our two younger daughters who have been finished by an English lady, a grave and good and gracious English lady, shall daily be exhibited in public, that all may learn what from the English standpoint is looked upon as maidenly perfection. Come hither, daughters.
Hello. Oh, are you going to come and say hello to all these lovely people here? Go on, do it, Fantasy. Go on. Oh, no, you want to. Come on, don't be naughty, girl. Go and say hello to these people. Don't be so many daddy. It's not very nice.
How modest, how discreet, how bashfully demure. See how they blush, as they get taught, and his publicity unsought. How English and how pure, how English and how pure.
Pardon. I always forget that. Odd, the notion of a king not being allowed to wear one of his own crowns in front of two of his own subjects.
Yes, bizarre, is it not?
Most quaint, but then it's a quaint world.
Teams with quiet fun. I often think what a lucky thing it is that you're blessed with such a keen sense of humour.
Do you know, I find it invaluable. But do what I will, I cannot help but look on the humorous side of things, for properly considered, everything has its humorous side. Well, even the palace peeper. How long is this to last by Junius Junior, ribald royalty by Senex Senior, where is the public exploder by Mephistopheles Minor, ribald royalty by Mercury Major? When I reflect on these outrageous attacks on my moral character written by me, at your command, why, it's one of the funniest things to ever come within the scope of my experience.
Yes. Besides, apart from that, they have a quiet sense of humour that is just simply irresistible.
Not bad, I think.
Biting. Convention to sarcasm.
The rapier, not the bludgeon, that's your line.
Oh, but then it's so easy. I'm such a good subject.
Bad king, but a good subject.
A capital heading for next week's leading article.
Yes, my king. In this line of field, no one could hold a candle to you.
Yes. You refer, of course, to the literary quality of the paragraphs.
Oh, yes, of course.
Because the essence of the joke lies in the fact that rather than being the abominable profligate they suggest, I'm one of the most fastidiously respectable persons in my whole dominions.
But the crowning joke is the comic opera you've written for us. King Tuppence, or a good deal less than half a sovereign, in which you yourself give grotesque imitations of your royal peculiarities in disguise as the English tenor, Mr. Wilkinson.
The humour of the situation lying in the fact that an English tenor is only ever one or the other, whereas I am neither.
Oh, I'm sure that will be widely understood, yes.
We're putting to double crisis. It's immense.
I put it to you. How am I to find time to edit your paper? Write articles in which I am to hold myself up to ridicule and contempt, and play Mr. Wilkinson in the evenings, and yet discharge my functions as an autocratic despot?
Surely it cannot take you too long to think of something devastating to write about yourself.
On the contrary, you've no idea what difficulty I find in looking for anything ridiculous or contemptible in my character. And then I have to find an excuse to withdraw from notice every evening when I fulfill my obligations at the theatre.
Yep. Nevertheless, on that condition and on that condition alone, do we consent to you continuing to enjoy the luxuries and privileges of an autocratic monarch?
It seems hard.
Well, consider the humour of the situation.
As you said just now, it's a quaint world.
Teams with quiet fun.
I often think what a farce life is.
It's all very well. I often like to look on the humorous side of things, but I do not think I ought to write libels on my own moral character. Naturally, I see the joke of it. Anybody would. Zara's coming home today, and she's no longer a child. And I confess I should not like her to see my opera, though it's uncommonly well written. And I should be extremely sorry if the palace people got into her hands. Though it's certainly smart, very smart indeed. Oh, and Lady Sophy, that blameless type of perfect womanhood. What would she say if the second housemaid business happened to meet her pure blue eye?
My monarch is soliloquizing. I will withdraw.
No, pray don't go. Now, I'll give you 50 chances, and you won't guess whom I was thinking of.
King, it's an old story, and I'm well nigh weary of it. Be warned in time, from my heart I pity you, but I am not for you.
Confound it. Might I ask how you came by this?
It was handed to me by the officer that holds the position of public exploder to your Imperial Majesty.
And surely, Lady Sophy, surely you would not be so unjust as to place any faith in the irresponsible gabble of the society press?
I read, on the authority of Senex Senior, that Your Majesty was seen dancing with the second housemaid on the oriental platform of the Tivoli Gardens.
Do they say that? Ha ha ha! There is absolutely no limit to the audacity of these paragraph mongers.
Then it is untrue.
Absolutely. Our second housemaid only has one leg.
How do you know that?
Common report, I give you my honour.
Well, you are a despot. Have you taken any steps to slay this scribbler?
Well, not exactly. After all, it's the poor devil's living, you know.
It's the poor devil's
I've been waiting until a punishment can be found that will exactly meet the enormity of this case. I'm in constant communication with the Mikado of Japan, who is a leading authority on such points. And, moreover, I have the ground plans and sectional elevations for several capital punishments in my desk at this moment. Oh, Lady Sophy, as you are powerful, be merciful.
Subjected to your heavenly gaze, poetical phrase, my brain is turned completely. Observe me now, no monarch I vow was ever so far afflicted.
Pleased with that poetical
drinking, sensitiveness, a general characteristic of modern utopian ladies?
Oh no, we are crack specimens. We are the pick of the basket. We have been anglicised. We have enjoyed the inestimable privilege of being educated by a most refined and easily shocked English layman. Very strict of English principles.
May I present Lady Sophy, their governess?
And may I present to you the English warrior who commands my escort and has taken such care of me during my journey, Captain Fitzbattleaxe.
Sir, you come from a country in which every virtue flourishes. We trust that you will not criticize too severely such shortcomings as you may detect in our semi-barbarous society.
Sir, I have eyes for nothing but the blameless and the beautiful.
We thank you. It really is very polite. Oh, Lady Sophy, do not leave us.
Sir, your children are young and so far innocent. If they are to remain so, it is vital that they are at once removed from their present disgraceful surroundings.
Dear, it really shouldn't. Captain Fitzbattleaxe,
Sir,
your troopers appear to be receiving an alarming amount of attention from those young ladies. I should be extremely distressed if anything occurred that would shock their puritanical British sensitiveness.
oh no, I don't think there's any chance of that.
Oh, you don't think so? They won't be offended?
Not at all. They're quite hardened to it. They get a good deal of that sort of thing, standing sentry at horse guards.
It's English then, is it?
It's particularly English.
Oh, pray proceed then, ladies, for it's particularly English. Now, my lord, for we have much to say to one another.
Farewell, Captain Fitzbattleaxe, and thanks for the devoted care with which you have watched over me during our long and eventful voyage. A reception will be held here tonight in honour of my escort, and as a mark of the English principles to which we aspire, our Royal Opera House will hold a command performance of their latest comedy.
Your Highness, I really must protest.
Indeed, Lady Sophy, this is highly irregular.
And yet, my office compels me to do so. I understand that you propose your younger sisters accompany you tonight to a comic opera.
Quite so, King Tuppence or a good deal less than half a sixpence. Do you please?
Certainly not.
Royal command performances are common occurrences in England.
But a comic opera, ma'am.
I believe the title role is played by the accomplished Mr. Wilkinson.
I've read reports to that effect.
Then, as he's an Englishman, we need to have no fears regarding the propriety of the piece.
But your sisters, ma'am. Consider their youth and their innocence.
My sisters, Lady Sophy, are a full 15 years of age, and as for innocence, it's merely a refinement of ignorance, a quality I feel sure our long-serving governess has been at pains to eschew.
Ma'am. It pains me to do so, but allow me to acquaint your Highness with this periodical, so that you may be better acquainted with the allusions of tonight's piece.
Thank you, Lady Sophy. Please see to it that my sisters are dressed as young ladies in their theatre box or carriage, not their nursery or perambulator.
In the papers, I am your king. What am I worth with all my cape?
which course of action would be to lead with dignity during the interval.
What? Before we have sorbet with the lifeguards? They aren't leaving, and they seem to be enjoying it.
Please, girls, you don't understand these things.
Perhaps not, but we mean to.
Girls!
Not girls! Your Royal Highnesses!
Who but once?
I don't think so. Wouldn't be English. Lady Sophy, you are dismissed. We have no further need for our governess tonight. And as for us, on to Act 2. And English lifeguards!
We lift our boat and ta-da-pa-pa-pa, explode in as quick as you can. Pa-pa. We lift our boat and ta-da-pa-pa-pa, explode in as quick as you can. Pa-pa.
Zara, my daughter. Well, at last we're alone together.
Yes, and I'm glad we are. I wish to speak with you very seriously. Do you know this paper?
Yes, I heard of it. Well, where on earth did you get this from?
It was given to me by Lady Sophy, my sister's governess.
Lady Sophie's an angel, but I do wish she'd mind her own business. It's it's rather humorous.
My dear father is a mere ungrammatical twaddle.
Oh, no, I won't have that. Well, unpleasantly personal, perhaps, but written with an epigrammatical point, which is very rare nowadays. Very rare indeed.
You, the despotic king of this country, are made the subject of the most scandalous insinuations. If it had any literary merit, I could understand it.
Oh, it has literary merit. Oh, distinctly it has literary merit.
And then there is the subject of Mr. Wilkinson, the English tenor.
As it happens, he's not English. He's a Utopian.
I have my own theories regarding the identity of Mr. Wilkinson.
Ah.
My father, there's something wrong here. If you were truly a free agent, you would never commit these outrages.
Zara, I admit I am not altogether a free agent. Well, I am controlled. I try to make the best of it, but sometimes it's very difficult indeed. Nominally a despot, I am between the two of us, the helpless tool of two unscrupulous wise men who insist on my falling in with their wishes and threaten to denounce me for immediate explosion if I remonstrate.
Oh, my poor father. Now, listen to me. Due to Imogen, the political and social institutions of Utopia, I brought with me 6 representatives of the principal causes that have made England the powerful, happy, and blameless country which the general consensus of European civilization has declared it to be. Place yourself unreservedly in the hands of these gentlemen, and they will remodel your country on a footing that will allow you to defy your persecutors. They are all now washing their hands after their journey. Shall I introduce them?
Oh, my daughter, how can I thank you? I will consent to anything that will release me from the abominable tyranny of these 2 men. What ho! Without there! Summon my court without an instant's delay.
Attend to me, Utopian populace, ye South-Pacific Island viviparians, all in the abstract types of courtly grace, yet when
And now it must be 7. Stupendous loans to foreign thrones he's largely advocated, and ginger pops and peppermint drops he's freely speculated, and mines of gold and wealth untold successfully he's floated, and certain falls in apple stores occasionally quoted, and soon or late he'll always call for stock exchange quotation. No schemes too great and none too small for companification.
Yes, yes, yes. No schemes too great and none too
Captain Corcoran, KCB, he'll teach you how he rules the sea, and telefies a simple goal, and how the Saxon and the Celt, the yard of shaky flows are built, with Maxim gun and order belt, or will when the occasion call. If sailor die, lay your cards, and bend your sails and lower your yards, except your mash you'll never want to more. Though they're no longer hard to vote, yet they can steer a thing so. And thanks to coal and thanks to coke, it never run a ship ashore.
Was never,
no never,
was never,
hardly ever,
hardly ever run the ship ashore. They give breeches and breeches for the shore. Never runs the ship ashore. They give breeches and breeches for the never runs the ship ashore.
They will not
And in this veil of sorrow, the saving that was liability is limited. Do you suppose it signifies perdition? If so, you're but a monetary dance. You merely follow winding of perdition and start another company at once. Oh, a Rothschild you may be in your own capacity. As a company you come to utter sorrow. But the liquidators say, never mind, you needn't pay. So you start another company tomorrow. And the liquidators say, never mind, you needn't pay. So you start another company tomorrow.
Well, at first sight, it strikes us as dishonest. But if it's good enough for virtuous England, the first commercial country in the world, it's good enough for us.
You listen here, which recollect we have not been consulted.
And do I understand you that Great Britain, upon that joint stock principle is governed?
We haven't come to that exactly, but we're tending rapidly in that direction. The date's not distant.
We will be before you. We'll go down to austerity, renowned as the first sovereign in Christendom, who registered his crown and country under the Joint Stock Companies Act of 62. Henceforward of ability, the king says we will go down to austerity of sovereigns of that king.
Give the matability, our wishes are simple. Go to posterity, which I will anything.
He'll go up to posterity if I inflict a blow.
Go down to posterity, if we want to know.
He'll go up, blowing up my dynamite.
He'll go up, of course he will. You're right, up, 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 up.
Oh, Zara, my beloved one, bear with me. Do not laugh at my attempted sin. and not mocking maid, thy girlhood's choice. The fervour of my love affects my voice. A tenor who sings above, this doesn't admit of a question, should keep himself quiet and tend to his diet and carefully nurse his digestion. But when he is madly in love, it's certain to tell on his singing. You can't do chromatics with proper emphatics when anguish your bosom is ringing. When contrasted with worries in plenty, and his pulse is 120, and his fluttering bosom the slave of mistresses, a tenor can't do himself justice. Now observe. It's no use, I can't do myself justice. I could sing if my father were Mark. It's easy enough if you're acting. But when one's emotion is born of devotion, you mustn't be over-exacting. One ought to be firm as a rock, to venture a shade vibrato. When fervor's expected, cool and collected, or never attempt agitato. But of course when his tongue is on leather, and his lips have been pasted together, and his sensitive palate is dry, the crusty tenor can't do himself justice. Now observe. It's no use, I can't do myself justice.
Why, Arthur? What does it matter when the higher qualities of the heart are all that can be desired? The higher notes of the voice are matters of comparative insignificance. Who thinks slightingly of the coconut because it is husky? Besides, you're not singing for an engagement. You have that already.
How good and wise you are. How unerringly your practiced brain knows the wheat from the chaff, the material from the merely incidental.
My Girton training, Arthur. At Girton all is wheat, and idle chaff is never heard within its walls. Does not all going marvellously well? Not our flowers of progress more than justify their name?
We have indeed done our best. Captain Corcoran and I, in concert, thoroughly remodeled the sister services, and upon so sound a basis that the whole of the South Pacific trembles at the name of Utopia. It's as easy as possible without the Admiralty and the Horse Guards there to interfere.
As with the others, free from the trammels imposed upon them by idle acts of Parliament, all have given their natural talents full play and introduced reforms which even in England were unheard of.
But perhaps the most beneficial change of all has been effected by Mr. Goldbury, who has applied the limited liability principle to all individuals, and every man, woman, and child is now a company limited, with liability restricted to his declared capital. There isn't a single baby in Utopia who hasn't already issued his little prospectus.
Marvellous the power of a country who can transmute by a word a limited income into an income limited. But the first board meeting under the new state of things is held here this evening, and you understand there is much I need to prepare.
Then we must part.
Necessarily, for a time.
Just as I wanted to tell you, with the deep enthusiasm of my nature. How deeply, how devotedly. I love you.
Hush! Are these the accents of a heart that truly feels? True love does not indulge in declamation. Its voice is sweet and soft and low. The west wind whispers through the poplars. Words of love do not be spoken, bring the rolling talking air. Noisy vows of broody progress of the sound of it above. Whisper sweetly, whisper slowly, hour by hour and day by day. Sweet and low as accents
Limited must be conducted with dignity and impressiveness. I am somewhat unfamiliar with the performance of a British Cabinet Council. Perhaps the Lord Chamberlain would be so kind as to put us in the way of doing things correctly, with due regard to the solemnity of the occasion.
Certainly. Nothing simpler. Kindly bring your chairs forward. His Majesty will, of course, preside.
We take your word for it that this is all right. You're not making fun of us. There is something oddly reminiscent of Mr. Wilkinson about this, except that was only for the stage.
There is a natural theatricality to English formal occasions.
Oh, it seems odd, but never mind.
Society has quite forsaken all her wicked courses, which empties our police courts and abolishes divorces.
Divorce is nearly obsolete in England.
No tolerance we show to undeserving rank or splendor. The higher his position is, the greater the offender.
A custom that is prevalent in England.
No peers at our drawing room before the presence passes wouldn't be accepted by the lower middle classes. Each shaded in whatever be her rank is bound up neatly.
In short, this happy country has been anglicised completely, completely, completely. It really is surprising what a thorough anglicising we have brought about Utopia's quite another land. In her enterprising movement, she is England with improvements which we dutifully offer to our motherland.
We have beautified, we've done it really neatly. So that isn't Belgrave, where is Strand or Piccadilly.
We haven't any slumberies in England.
We have solved the labour question with discrimination polished. So poverty is obsolete and hunger is abolished.
We're going to abolish it in England.
The Chamberlain, our native state, has merged beyond all question. Risky situation and indelicate suggestion. No peace is tolerated if it's costumed indiscreetly.
In short, this happy country has been anglicised completely, completely, completely. It really is surprising what a thorough anglicising we have brought about Utopia's quite another land. In her enterprising movement, she is England with improvements which we dutifully offer to our motherland.
Intellectual basis, which certainly is rough on our hereditary races.
We're going to remodel it in England.
The brewers and the cotton lords no longer seek admission, and literary merit meets with proper recognition.
As literary merit does in England.
Who knows who we make out among our intellectual chickens, that you had heard of Thackeray or perhaps a Duke of Dickens. Lord Byron's and Viscount Millais, when they come in, welcome sweetly.
In short, this happy country has been anglicised completely, completely, completely. It really is surprising what a thorough anglicising we have brought about Utopia's quite another land. In her enterprising women, she is England with improvements which we dutifully offer to our motherland. It really is
have overlooked an essential piece of information. Another retail park? These public expenditures are all very well, but are you sure the kingdom can afford it?
Not the kingdom, Your Majesty. Utopia Limited.
Now then, for the first utopian drawing room.
Where are the princesses?
It is as I forewarned. Since European looking glasses have been supplied to the royal bedchambers, the princesses are invariably late.
Now, my daughters, we are about to attempt a very solemn ceremonial, so no giggling. Now, my Lord Chamberlain, we are ready.
Then, ladies and gentlemen, places if you please. His Majesty will take his position at the front of the procession and will be so obliging as to kiss all the debutantes.
What? Must I really?
Absolutely indispensable. Everything it says in the palace paper is true.
Now, is everyone in his place?
Everyone is in his place.
Then let the revels commence.
Think about the non-Pacific drawing room.
We are allowing a slight difficulty with the train. It is want of familiarity with the rouge pot. It is on the whole a meritorious affair.
One or two judicious innovations, I think.
Admirable. The cup of tea and the plate of mixed biscuits were a cheap yet effective inspiration.
Yeah, my idea. Entirely. Never been done before.
It is amazing in youngest daughters. It's a shock.
That's a well. Yeah.
That's well. Here they come, my George. Without the drink. What can they have, sir?
Good heavens, I'm exhausted.
Just one more engagement, Your Majesty.
This is what we in England call the pub.
But surely any English statesman mixing with the populace in such a place would make himself look ridiculous.
Now that 780 Barre reform the licensing rules. Public houses are symposia, intellectual events, to meet the discussions of points of social ethics.
This ceremonial, our wish displays, to copy your Great Britain's courtly ways, though lofty aims catastrophe entail, will gloriously succeed or gloriously fail.
Bright and falling
think our time has come. These Englishmen, they must prepare to seek out once their native land. The king has heretofore was where shall be beneath the home he shall be beneath the home he shall. But this is me, and this will do. If you'll back me, and I'll back you. No, this will do. No, this is me. No, this is me. No, this will do.
Gentlemen, really, this unseemly display of energy within the royal precincts is altogether unpardonable. Pray, what do you complain of?
What do we complain of? Why, by these innovations, by your flowers and progress, all our harmless schemes making good provision for our old age are ruined. The palace people is practically defunct.
Defunct? Is that so? Oh, dear, I am truly sorry.
Then our belished theatre is absolutely ruined.
Your Lord Chamberlain has banned Mr. Wilkinson.
And your county council has introduced such drastic health and safety measures that the risk assessments alone constitute a fire hazard. They've had to close the building.
Gentlemen, if you will be so kind as to formulate a detailed list of your grievances in writing, addressed to the Secretary of Utopia Limited, they will be laid before the board in due course at their next monthly meeting.
So are we to believe that we have been defied?
That is the idea I intended to convey.
He's right. We are helpless. But he's no longer a human being. He's a corporation. And so long as he confides himself to his articles of association, we can't touch him. What are we to do?
What are we to do? We raise a revolution. We repeal the Act of 62. We convert him into an individual and insist upon his immediate explosions. Ferrara, you're just the man we need.
Good man.
Come back here. There you go, where you can. Ferrara, see, you wish to succeed to the throne, yes?
Well, naturally.
Well, you won't. You see, the king, he has defied us, and as matters stand, we are helpless. Well, so are you as well. We must devise a cunning plot at once to bring the people about his ears.
A plot? Yes, a plot. A plot of superhuman subtlety. Have you such thing about you?
I think not. There's one on my dressing table.
No, we can't wait. We must concoct one at once without delay. There's not a moment to spare.
With widely brain upon the spot of private plot, we'll plan the most ingenious private plots and private plots began. That's understood so far. We've not striking while the iron's hot. We'll now determine like a shot the details of this private plot. I think we got such a bosh I never heard. Oh, have you thought? How was it dashed absurd? I'll tell you how. Why, what put that in your head?
Oh, I got it now.
Oh, take him away to bed. Oh, put him to bed. Yes, put him to bed. Please, to bed. Yes, certainly put him to bed. But bless me, don't you see? Do listen to me, I pray. It only seems to me. But this is the only way. So shall search your ground. I'm talking ridiculous. How pretty living man. Now you're bound to pay no mind. You're very no mind. You're very no mind. You're bound to pay no mind. You're bound to so far we have one solved the plot. They lost a very ingenious lot. Utopia, how is it still in the time? Presently hit on the council plot. Suppose we go. Now there I think you're right. Then we might all. That's true, we certainly might. I'll tell you what. We will if we possibly can. Then on the spot.
I succeeded in eating you, extremely new and neat. I fancied that might do.
It's certainly very complete.
But then you slide and provoke.
You're a very ingenious man.
You intellectual, intellectual soul.
You're a very ingenious man.
At last I come to back, we won't say how, we won't say what. It's taken my own life, we'll talk the side to them, it's come to love.
These works were written and contributed by me.
By you? No.
Yes, by me. I, caught in Scaphio's ruthless toil, contributed the lot.
And that is why you did not foil the author on the spot.
And that is why I did not foil the author on the spot.
Majesty disputes and brought Utopia to a standstill!
Our pride and boast, the Army and the Navy, have both been reconstructed and remodeled on so irresistible a basis that all Navy nations have disarmed. A war's impossible!
The trains are on time, and the constant coffee shop baristas block abandoned newsstands and taxi ranks!
Every bank has become a Wetherspoons, but to no effect, now that every man's a company limited. But when he's billed, he winds himself up and begins afresh!
The laws laid down by Sir David Barre quite distinguish crime and litigation. The lawyers starve, and the jails are sold as starter homes for young professionals!
In short, Utopia, swamped by dull prosperity, demand that these detested flowers of progress be sent about their business, and affairs restored to their original complexion!
Yes! My daughter, this is a very pleasant, unpleasant state of things. What is to be done?
I don't know, there's something wrong. We must have omitted something.
Omitted something? Well, yes, that's all very well, but what?
Of course! Why have we forgotten the most vital, the most important, the most essential element of all?
And that is...
Government by party.
I love part.
Place petty rivalry at the heart of government and all will be well. No ideology can succeed when by solving problems the possibility for personal advancement is removed. Career politicians will hold your ideological and, intellectual things in a state of confusion, and then there will be sickness aplenty, endless lawsuits, crowded jails, interminable confusion in the army and the navy, and in short, general and inexample prosperity.
Baffled.
But the time will come.
Your time has come already.
From this moment, government by party is adopted, with all its attendant blessings, and henceforward Utopia shall no longer be known as a monarchy limited, but, what is a great deal better, a limited monarchy.
There's a little group of miles beyond the wave, so tiny you might almost wonder where it is. That nation is the bravest of the brave, and cowards are the rarest of all rarities. All neighbor nations kneel at her command. She terrifies all foreign-born Australians, and holds the peace of Europe in her hand with half a squad invincible battalions.
Oh, may we copy all her maxims wise, and imitate her virtues and her charities. And may we by decrees acclimatize her parliamentary peculiarities. In doing so we shall in course of time regenerate completely our entire land. Great Britain is that monarchy sublime to which some add but others do not Ireland.
undertaking. Intellectual things in a state of confusion, and then reaching garden.
Is it
Intellectual chickens, like you and never back of rats and dickens. Lord Fireys and Viscount Bailey, when they come with welcome sweetly. Oi!
There's a little group of owls beyond the reef, so tiny you might almost wonder where it is.